best is yet to come, come the day you're mine.
In society, it is difficult to balance the various facets of life that include love, family, marriage, school, career. Today, you will hear from a woman whose marriage succumbed to the pressure of trying to balance those very facets while being married to a famed gospel singer. Debra Winans was in a 16-year marriage to gospel singer BeBe Winans. They had it all. However, during the 10-year of their marriage, what Debra thought was the American dream ended. In this candid recount of their marriage, Debra discusses how insecurities, including her own, played a part in the downfall of their marriage. I introduce to you Debra D. Winans. How are you?
I'm well. How are you
Well,
today?
you look well.
Thank you. I am well.
Well, all right, amen. You have a book,
Yes.
Life Altered Not Over, My Silent Journey to Wholeness. When I asked you about the book, you explained to me that at one point you had lost your identity as a woman?
As a woman, as a person.
As a person.
You know, when you're married into a celebrity family, I am basically a behind the scenes person. I have no problem being behind the scenes.
I can't
I'm
tell
okay
that.
with that. Really, I am.
Because your hair is giving me up front. Your pretty smile and your lips are giving me up front.
I can work the front, but I
can
prefer
see
to be
that.
in the back.
Okay.
But I'm very comfortable with it. I teach leadership training. I've spoke to women's conferences, but I got lost. My marriage was in serious trouble. I was married to a well-known person. Who was I going to tell what I was going through? So I learned very well to suppress what I was feeling. You know, the patent answers. How you doing? Oh, blessed of the Lord. The Lord is good. God is, oh, well, how's things? Oh, God, I'm just so blessed. All of that. I learned it very, very well.
Yeah.
And yet I was dying.
Yeah.
Dying. And I just lost Debra, the one who God created, the one who has a purpose and a call. I lost her. I could not find her.
We're going to talk about who you were before. Let's back up and talk about who you were before you were introduced to BeBe.
I came from a line of strong, godly men. Both of my parents were in ministry. Okay. I have 5 brothers and 1 sister. My sister went on to be with the Lord 4 years ago.
Oh, sorry.
And so we come from a ministry family. We were born and raised in Sacramento, California. We were not as known, but ministry is what I've known all my life. So I understood. I have 5 brothers. All 5 of my brothers are in ministry. They're all pastors.
Wow.
So I couldn't escape if I wanted to.
That's right.
Truly, I tried. But we grew up. I grew up with that. So I understood about family and the values and the importance of ministry and loving people and serving. So that was no stranger to me, which I found myself enjoying and loving at a very young age.
Yeah. How did you meet BeBe?
We met in Atlanta through a mutual friend of mine. And we met and didn't date long at all, long distance relationship, and the rest is history.
Wow. How old were you?
I was 23. Girl, what was I doing?
You was a little
Getting
child.
married.
You was a
Didn't know,
baby.
couldn't wipe my nose.
Yeah, you
23.
didn't know.
What was I doing?
You didn't know nothing.
Crazy.
Was he famous then? Did he have a name?
They were on PTL,
Okay.
which I never saw them on PTL. I heard of them. I heard more and saw and heard the Winans, the 4 brothers,
Sure.
music than I heard BeBe and CeCe.
Okay.
But they left PTL when we met. I think they had gone, I want to say a couple of years when we met. So, and when we were engaged, they had just signed their first record deal to Sparrow Records, I Owe You Me.
Ah, that was a jam.
Yeah, that was a jam. That was a ball.
How did you feel when I Owe You Me and some of the songs began to get some radio play and they started to get a little famous?
Oh, I was excited.
Yeah?
I mean, he is one of the best writers.
Yeah.
He's a great writer, great producer. He is extremely talented person.
Yeah.
So I was very proud of he and CeCe and what they and their accomplishments and all the things. So, you know, you're driving down the street and it comes on the radio, you're like, oh, that's my boo. You know, you like that. You love all that.
Yeah.
So I was very proud of them.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. You bring back a lot of memories. Doom, 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 doom. I remember that song.
Yeah.
So let's fast forward. So now you're married. Great things are happening. You're excited. That's my boo on the radio. You start having children?
No,
Not right away?
I didn't have my daughter until 9 years after I was married.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were
Yeah.
married 16 years.
16 years.
And most of it happy?
No. No,
Okay.
not really. And to be honest with you,
Yeah.
you learn to adjust. And what I found that your career is tough. I think it was the Heaven CD.
Yes.
After the Heaven album came out, they blew up
Yes.
so quickly.
Yeah.
When we came home from our honeymoon, 2 weeks later, he was in the studio here in Nashville.
Wow.
So, it's been going ever since. So the career and the marriage was on the same level. Then the career started taking off,
Yep.
and the marriage did not grow.
What began to happen to you as his career evolved? Were you working?
I've always worked. I've always had a job. I think what started happening, though, was I saw that, in my opinion, that he loved his career more.
Okay.
And there was no time for us.
Okay.
So I felt like I was competing with the world, literally,
Yeah.
because I was sharing him with the world. And when you are hurting and you don't know what to do with all of this, and you have your own issues and your own unresolved issues within yourself, that's why when I wrote the book,
Yes.
the tagline says, "My silent journey to wholeness," because wholeness is something that is continual. It is, we never arrive. It's something that you come to a place where you realize, which I had to realize, whether he never takes me to dinner, whether he never spends time with me that I want him to. Lord, where are you in all of this? How do I walk through this anger?
Wow.
How do I walk through this frustration? The manipulation is not working.
Right.
The tactics are not working. So what do I do with this? And so what we do a lot of time, which I did, I went inward. And so I got very involved, always worked, got involved in ministry. Just, you get lost
Yeah.
thinking that you're going to wake up one day and it's just going to be okay. Well, it's not, because the truth of the matter is, when you have any kind of conflict, you have to deal with it. It's not going away.
Wow.
So I'm thinking, okay, well, once they go platinum, we'll spend some time together. You know, once we reach this particular financial status, then he will recognize, then he will know, yep, hello, you have a wife here.
Right.
Now a baby is here. Oh, surely that's going to make a difference.
Wow.
Because now we have a daughter.
Right.
Surely that's going to make a difference. Well, if you don't discuss the issues, it just grows.
Now, were you at fault because maybe you didn't discuss the issue?
Oh, absolutely.
So you
because
kept silent?
I did.
Why?
I did for a couple of reasons. We are taught many times in the church, excuse me, that just pray and take it to the Lord.
Yeah.
And he will work this thing out for you.
Yeah.
I believe that.
Yeah.
I absolutely believe that. However, he gives us a responsibility.
That's right.
And there are things that we need to do.
Right.
There are decisions that we make.
So you got up, went to bed, cooked dinner, made love, got the kids ready, did all of that, and still never talked about the real issue.
Right.
Wow.
Right.
And you did that for years.
I did that for years. I did that for years because there wasn't a whole lot of time together.
Wow.
So, and then with having a child, you do that whole mommy thing, which is, I absolutely love.
Right.
I have two, 13 and 10.
Wow.
They are my priority.
Yeah.
However, it doesn't negate the fact, doesn't take the responsibility off of me to say, look, this is where I am.
Right.
This is what I'm dealing with. I need you to hear me.
Right.
Well, when you don't have good communication anyway,
Right.
then you're not sure you want to take the risk.
Sure.
It feels like a risk to you. That sounds crazy to some people, but it's really true. You decide, well, I'm going to be quiet for the sake of peace. Well, it's not peace at all. You end up delaying the inevitable.
The inevitable. Right.
But who wants to deal with that? Because God is going to fix this thing.
Sure.
He's going to turn this thing around because I've given an offering. I've given a sacrificial offering. I have paid my tithes and offerings. I have